fellow Terrans, I come to you in the wake of recent events to issue a call to reason. Let no human deny the perils of our time. While we battle one another, divided by the petty strife of our common history, the tide of a greater conflict is turning against us, threatening to destroy all that we have accomplished. It is time for us as nations and as individuals to set aside our long-standing feuds and unite. The tides of an unwinnable war are upon us, and we must seek refuge upon higher ground lest we be swept away by the flood. The Confederacy is no more. Whatever semblance of unity and protection it once provided is a phantom, a memory. With our enemies left unchecked, who will you turn to for protection? The devastation wrought by the alien invaders is self-evident. We have seen our homes and communities destroyed by the calculated blows of the Protoss. We have seen firsthand our friends and loved ones consumed by the nightmarish Zerg. Unprecedented and unimaginable though they may be, these are the signs of our time. The time has come, my fellow Terrans, to rally to a new banner. In unity lies strength. Already many of the dissident factions have joined us. Out of the many, we shall forge an indivisible whole, capitulating only to a single throne. And from that throne, I shall watch over you. From this day forward, let no human make war upon any other human. Let no Terran agency conspire against this new beginning, and let no man consort with alien powers. And to all the enemies of humanity, seek not to bar our way, for we shall win through, no matter the cost.
Hello everyone, Grits here. As you can see, we just put Minx into power, and that was right after he sent our girlfriend to die on the planet. So, that does conclude episode 1. We will start episode 2 here in a minute. Wanted to spend a couple minutes talking to you guys though. Let's talk about the last 2 missions. 2 missions ago was about 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It took us 5 episodes to get through. We did quite a few fast forwards, but you guys got to see everything. In the last mission, it was just under 2 hours, and we got through that in only 3 episodes. Doing a lot of jump cutting. You guys have seen enough of the grindy stuff that I don't think we need to continue showing that all the time, and I actually think I prefer to do jump cuts when we're doing building and things like that. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think, or more specifically, what you would like to see, and we will start doing that. So let's go ahead and get started with episode 2, and it looks like we will be playing the Zerg.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my Cerebrates, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now, and keep safe my prize.
Okay, so now we need to create a spawn pool, create a Hydralisk den, and protect the chrysalis. And basically we're going to be running the campaign from the Zerg's perspective. There will be new missions, and we're just going to learn how to use their troops like we did with the Terrans in the beginning. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, tip. All Zerg buildings except hatcheries and extractors must be constructed on creep. Creep can be created by building a hatchery or a creep colony. So all of this purple stuff in the background.
The heart of any Zerg colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions. Now, create a drone and start gathering resources.
So he's talking about these guys here. Use the select larva button on the hatchery. Okay, so we can select the larvae that are spontaneous out there, and he wanted us to create drones. So when we click on it, it automatically became, or it's transforming, and now we can select the larva again and turn it into an overlord, and we'll do it one more time, and we'll do another drone. Okay, we've hit our cap. Where it
provide control for your minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them.
So we hit our cap, 9 of 9. The overlords are like our supply depots. So as this overlord hatches, our cap will increase. Now we have our drone, so we can select him and then right click on the minerals, just like we did in the past.
Warrior strains, you must generate the various hive structures. The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building.
Okay. So you can see our cap went up to 17. We also have another one here. They can also detect cloak units. So we use these for our eyes, and the nice thing about these is because of our cap, we can keep them floating around doing recon on the board, but at the same time be able to have our troops. So select a larva, and might as well make another overlord. Okay, we're only at 22 minerals, so I guess we'll make more drones as we can get that going. Now these here are Zerglings, and they are our fighting troops basically. They're like the Marines. And then this is the young chrysalis that we have to protect. So if we go here and look at our mission objectives, we still need to create a spawn pool. We need to create a den and protect the chrysalis. So right now we just need to basically just put together our minerals. Okay, and this is our creep colony. This is what allows us to get all this purple stuff that we can build our buildings on.
Now, order your drone to become a spawning pool.
Okay.
You'll notice that structures can only implant themselves upon the creep.
No, I'm going to be tripping on the overmine.
You can make creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon open ground.
Because he seems to like to talk a lot also. So we'll go ahead and move our visuals out a little bit. We have gas here. So we can take this drone and we can mutate it. And let's go ahead and move him up here. And then the mutations, we have the hatchery, creep colony, the extractor, which would get us our minerals, the spawn pool, and evolution chamber, where we'll get some of our more sophisticated units, kind of like a factory or a well, yeah, let's just call it a factory, because this is our barracks here essentially. So as soon as we get, oh, we are up to 200, so let's go ahead and mutate it into a spawn pool. And the spawn pool is another type of factory, or actually it would be a barracks more for fighting units, where this is just creating our SCVs. And we can see the spawn pool is mutating. The sound effects for the Zerg are definitely a lot more organic. And in some cases a little more gross. Okay, so there is our spawn pool. And it looks like this is actually more of for researching. So let's go ahead and mutate him into an extractor.
I am Zaz. I too am a cerebrate of the Overmind. I have located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the Chrysalis and the Hive Cluster. You must not allow them to leave here alive.
New mission: destroy the Terran encampment. So it looks like a relatively standard Terran base for the early missions. We have all of these Zerglings here. Let's go ahead and start moving them around and take a look and see what else we can find. Okay, so we have encountered the enemy. Let's get a couple of drones working on here.
All forces are under attack.
We'll get a few more Zerglings made. Now, the thing here is they're gonna automatically spawn the little guys. There's no way to really speed that up, so you can only produce as fast as this releases the little guys, the larvae. And let's take a look at our mission objectives. So we created the spawn pool. We need a Hydralisk den and destroy the Terrans. Okay, now I know we should probably protect the top as well. Let's work on the Hydralisk. They are the bigger units, more like the tanks or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. I forgot the name of the unit. Oh well, it's the big mechanical one that almost whipped our butts in the last mission. Just suffice it to say they're the fighting units that are a little tougher. Let's go ahead and work on some science here in the spawning pool. Okay, so
Our forces are under attack. We require more vessels.
okay, so that battle was over before we even got there. Probably should be ready for attack from the north next. Let's go ahead and see if we can clear out a little bit more here. The Goliath, that was the unit I couldn't remember. And like on the Terrans, once you assign them to something, that's what they're going to do. And if a threat comes in, they will ignore the threat to continue to work on what you told them to do. And we're not going to take that out in time. So we have Hydralisks now because of the Hydralisk pool. So we'll morph these guys into the Hydralisks and send them into battle. Let's increase our eyes. Now, the other thing is you can set them to patrol, and they'll just cruise on their own and basically map the game for us. So these are the Hydralisks. They're slower, but deal a lot more damage than the little Zerglings. Okay, that guy's cruising. Set him up on patrol also. Wait a second. Okay, so the patrol is just back and forth. In the future versions of the game, they just can move randomly all around the board. You can set rally points, same as in the Terrans, so they will automatically move away from the structures, making them easier to see. Okay, so that was the attack from the north we were expecting.
Our forces are under attack.
So we'll set the rally point out here so that we can see what we have. Let's get this guy's patrol route a little bit wider. And do the same with this guy. They are just slow, lumbering, little floaty things, but they definitely increase your perspective of the theater. Okay, one of the other things here is
Forces are under attack.
when you select the larva, you get all of them. I don't believe we have a choice. So you want to kind of watch. Like for example, here we got 2. You can't select an individual. Oh, yes, you can. Okay. Learn something new every day, right? Okay, let's go ahead and send these guys into battle and see what they can do. Definitely slower, but they deal more damage, and they're ranged. Where the others just use claws and whatnot. So, not bad. Did a significant amount of damage. That almost sounded like a horse. So it looks like the chrysalis isn't going to tell us what it is doing. So we will just have to complete the other missions and then see if it gives us any more ideas. Okay, so we will have to set him back up on patrol because he got a little upset. Took a little bit of time while camera was off to create some more troops. I'm building another evolution chamber And I want to build another Hydralisk Den. I'm sorry, not another evolution chamber, our first one. And that upgrades our melee attack. It can upgrade our missile attacks. And I believe that's our armor there. So let's go ahead and buy some of these upgrades. Also, when creating new units, the Zerglings are 2 per unit slot and 2 per larva. So you get kind of double there. They're fast, but they're like the Marines. Doesn't take a lot of damage to kill them. Sorry, we were so rudely interrupted there. They're like the Marines. They're quick to build and used a lot as cannon fodder. Basically, you just send a ton of them in to do as much damage as possible. So I think we'll just leave them here to do as much damage as they can. We have a new force ready to back them up. And looks like these guys, we lost one and they took care of everything else. So this area is now cleared out. So we can go ahead and start doing a patrol route over here just to see if anybody else comes down. And basically use them as sacrificial units out in the field to soften up the enemy, but we still have our main choke point here we're going to want to hold on to. Okay, so let's get back down here. That's still researching. As soon as that's done, we'll go ahead and figure that out. Let's do another creep over here so that we can extend our usable area. So basically, once he finishes morphing into that creep generator, the creep will just expand out into this area here and giving us more places to build our buildings and whatnot. Okay, so you can see the creep is now starting to grow, and we'll just let him do that. Okay, starting to send in some flyers. So we will probably want to get a little bit more involved there and shut him down before he gets too crazy on us. Let's select one larvae and create an overlord, and then everybody else can become Hydralisks. And then what I want to do is take this overlord and send him down to the corner just to make sure we did clear out everything. Okay, so let's take these guys. You can see how far the creep went. Let's move them up here with our forward operating forces. Looks like we did clear out everything we needed to clear out here. So we'll send him back up. Let's go ahead and assign these guys into Block 1 and push forward. We'll get these guys to identify the territory a little bit more. Okay, so it looks like we have a significant amount up to the north, so we're probably going to want to start sending more troops up there. Because that's where they're going to come down from. Okay, let's get back here. Let's also check on our research while we're here. No, we don't want to take our eyes off the battle, though. Okay. Upgrade against missile attacks. I'm basically not being that familiar with the Zerg of the original. I'm going to take every bit of upgrade I can. And they're probably going to make us clear everything out like they've had us do in the past. That's not a big deal. Almost there. And it looks like there might be a second command center because they're running around over there. These guys are as bad at pathfinding as the others. Any other unit in the game. Okay, so that's our victory. So, you can see here that we finished cleaning out everything, and I'm going to go ahead and combine this with what I thought was going to be the first episode, and just make it 130-minute episode. And you can see we did 36,000, the filthy humans did 28,000, and we learned about drones, the Zerglings, the Hydralisks, and the Overlords, and even created a little bit of creep. So, until next time, be safe.